establish this wonderful relationship with food by
Mhm.
eliminating the negative programming or the conditioning sometimes to associate uh, getting rid of bad emotions by eating, kind of like, oh, have a nice
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today we have a special guest with us. Her name is Naomi. I met her while networking, and you guys are going to love her. She is a clinical hypnotherapist and coach. She specializes in visibility and stress management. And one of the things that she loves to do is help her clients break free from emotional eating at a subconscious level, embodying a new relationship with food. So while we're talking about emotions, we talk about mood, all of those things embody emotional eating. They're a component of it. What Naomi does is she helps you overcome that. She helps you heal. And she works on 4 distinct levels. She works on a somatic level, emotional, mindset, and action. And y'all know I love taking action. So, like we talk about, when we're not talking about habits, we talk about strategies. Naomi is very similar. She's not looking at trying to have you form a habit. What she wants you to do is to enact sustainable change so that you no longer have to come back to this place. So, one of the joys of having Naomi here today is she's a part of our virtual retreat coming up. And I am so excited to introduce you guys to her. So, Naomi, would you please introduce yourself and welcome to the show?
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here, Bonnie. It's such a joy, and it's been such a wonderful thing getting to know you and really collaborating ever since we probably first talked at the networking event. So it's marvelous. I think you said everything that is important. I'm really passionate about anything and everything that keeps us away from joy, and because I think that life can be lived with joy, and part of it is food, especially since we eat daily. Yeah, so I think once you kind of re-establish this wonderful relationship with food by eliminating the negative programming or the conditioning sometimes to associate getting rid of bad emotions by eating, kind of like, oh, have an ice cream. Yeah, some parents do that. It's kind of a norm in society. So, but once all of that is out, all of a sudden it's kind of, oh my God, this new fascinating world that opens up that is about, oh, I have control, I have choices, and guess what? I can anything and everything and really enjoy it without obsessing about what's going to happen.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. That's one of the things we talk about here often is the whole reason you eat healthy, the whole reason you have a healthy lifestyle, and the whole reason you strive to heal your body is to enjoy life and to live the one that you want, not the one you feel like you've been stuck with.
Exactly.
So that's still one of the reasons when you and I first met, I was like, yeah, she's perfect.
Wonderful. Yeah. What's interesting that I think one of the best way to stabilize our relationship with food when we are reprogramming the mind. So usually the reprogramming is with somebody, although there are some exercises you can do. But let's say once that is, so I think first you just listen to and eat whatever you want. But one thing that actually happens after a while is that we tend to gravitate towards a healthy food. Now, if you work with somebody like you, Bonnie, then you can start from the beginning of actually establishing a new relationship with food. Yeah, so and basically learn about the language of food. Something that often is wider than what you actually think you have. So we think we have so many choices, and it turns out that it's not at all. It's just a
Ah,
light little thing, and lots of worrying and stress and all that emotional package of shall I eat, what shall I eat, when shall I eat, and starving ourselves. And then all of a sudden, no, the world is not about that. You can have all of it. And guess what? You can have all of it. You will probably gravitate towards things that are healthier, less sugar, less fat, and you're also losing weight or maintaining the weight that is right for you. And I think it's just fascinating, isn't it? It's just there's nothing not to be really excited about.
yeah. Yeah. I love this field for that exact reason. When I first lost weight, I thought I had to give up everything, everything. And I had finally gotten to a place where I was willing to do it. But the nutritionist and trainer I worked with taught me that that's not reality.
Exactly.
It's not long term, and it's not anything that we actually need to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the saddest things is that people don't realize that, especially in the Western world where there's plenty. Yeah, for most people, there's plenty. Obviously, we have to recognize that there are certain situations where there isn't. But often the only way people starve themselves is with diet. It's just
yes, yeah,
self-imposed starvation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
But
you never see anyone starve themselves from activity.
yeah,
Or from a massage.
yes. And funnily enough, once we establish this relationship with food that is healthy, that is not, for instance, talking about emotions, because you introduced me as such that, and that's where I work with emotional eating. So there's a big difference between physical hunger,
Is it?
which comes on gradually. Yeah, so it's not like boom, I stole a shop and boom. That's
Right.
not hunger.
Right.
That's anything but physical hunger.
Yeah.
It's not your body saying, I need a little bit of rest. Uh, and
Then,
with emotional hunger, this sort of, I don't know how to manage my emotions. And often it's because you haven't been taught. Yeah. So we model whatever we learn at home, whatever we learn in our uh, groups. And if there was no way to learn how to manage things, or it
right.
was a dysfunctional relationship, then we'll care. That's going to be the normal. That's going to be part of our identity and our self-image. Yeah, so we'll eat when we are bored, we'll eat when we are sad, we'll eat when we are celebrating, we'll eat when any emotion will be coupled and with something with some sort of food. And often that tends to be high fat and high sugar. It's not a tomato. It's oh, I had some cherry tomatoes and rocket because I was feeling so sad.
Well, yeah. And I mean, a lot of that is biological. Like when I talk with people, I talk about their signals, about the signals the body sends. And whenever we're talking emotional eating, the body thinks it needs carbs. So more than likely, it's gonna ask you for sugar. It goes
Yeah,
straight for whatever your favorite treat is because it knows
exactly.
this. If it gives you that craving, you're gonna go for it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Uh,
Unfortunately. But one of the things that is important, and I'm sure this is something that you educate your clients, that it actually can change. So it's
Yes,
just a learned habit. Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
That it actually you can unlearn it, decondition it. It doesn't, and also one doesn't have to eliminate. So I think this sort of not eating anything of a certain kind is not necessarily so a good thing.
Sure.
But actually, when we are learning to uh, take these things apart. So this is my emotions, and I'm now in control, regulating them, and if there is any underlying trauma or stress, one of the things that we eat the way we eat is often because of some unescapable stress. Yeah, so there is some sort of so the base level of the stress is already higher than is optimal for you as an organism, you as a person, your body. And therefore, if any little stress on top of happens, I don't know, you don't get to the bus on time, whatever, little things, that because your level is already high, it gets very high very fast. And then if you learned to manage that stress with food, then the natural thing, because when we are stressed, we can't think. We don't actually have access to the whole of our brain, and especially the control, the prefrontal cortex. And what happens is that we just automatically do something. So it's not really your fault as a person who does it. It's just faulty programming and habit that gets replayed over and over.
Yeah. I mean, we could sit here and say yes all day long. You're spot on. So one of the things that you and I had talked about was reprogramming a subconscious mind, and that seems in line with what you're talking about right now. And you talk about using this reprogramming to help people reach and maintain an ideal weight. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So I will go a little bit into hypnotherapy because that is one of I actually work with the body as well. I'm an embodiment coaching training, so that's also quite exciting. Like I start with the hypnosis, so it's basically a wonderful, relaxed state. It's a little bit like a guided meditation. Or interactive meditation, because we will be talking. So what happens is that you're in this state of relaxed and focused state. Your mind is really focused on what's happening or what we are talking about, and then I press my clients to what is it that keeps them stuck in this emotional or in this pattern. It might be emotional eating, binge eating. It might be just that they are unable to lose weight no matter what. And it's always something emotional. So it's hardly ever about food, actually. Sometimes it comes in, but it's usually, it could be because what the body can actually hold on to weight, besides the fact that over dieting does things like your metabolism is just the basal metabolic rate is just plummets because it is expecting another starvation period, which funny enough is coming. So people diet themselves to become really to put on weight, basically. It's the way things work. However, sometimes it's just the fact that one learned that it's not safe. For instance, there are people who the issue was that they felt unsafe with a woman that, oh my God, somebody might is everything okay?
Yes, something knocked over and the dogs went nuts.
It happens.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is that there are many things at the background. Sometimes it's that they didn't feel safe. They felt that as a woman, so sexually, or they felt that being looking in a certain way was unsafe for them. Right? It could have been something that happens in your teenager or your child, and then that unconscious or subconscious belief is running the show. Often we don't even know, but in hypnosis it comes out. It's going, oh my God, but that's no longer true. And then all of a sudden new habits can be, or new strategies can be put in place. Because all of a sudden there is no aspect of self-sabotage. There's no aspect of, but I need to, because everybody, the major thing for anybody is not to feel happy. It's great, but you as an organism, that's not your goal. The goal is to survive, and the second goal is to reproduce so that the species stays alive. These are the two things. So if you are in survival mode because there are some some beliefs that you might not even actually consciously be aware of are there. You can diet, you can learn about things, you can read all the self-help books in the world, you can change things, because you will go back. Unfortunately, you will go back because there's something that says this is not safe for me. This is not something that I can do. And that's when things relapse over and over and over. And this is what we do at the unconscious level, uncover that and say, is that really all still true? And then I'd say, oh, but no, it's not that. I'm actually really powerful. I'm really strong. And then we learn that, oh, things are possible.
Yeah.
That I'm not 5 or I'm not this or that. Well, I'm much stronger now. I live in a very different reality. Then we start. Yeah. Which is why then you can start with strategy. So we started in our conscious at the body level. What is it that you embody? What beliefs about yourself? What is available to you? So because we often feel, or people often feel, especially if they struggle with weight, that thin people are different. No.
Right.
The same species. No, it's true. There is a genetic component of some people actually have. They react to things like they put on fat faster. Yeah. So there is. We know that there is such a genetic. But if you eat a way that is nurturing for you, if you exercise or move your body, yeah, it doesn't have to be in the gym. It's just going for a wonderful walk daily. Yeah. Then you will also actually have and be able to maintain the body weight that is optimal for you, yeah, rather than a body weight that is unrealistic and it's Photoshop. So yeah, I read this that many times I hear people that want to look like the models in the magazines, and then the answer was, so do the models.
Yeah,
Photoshop.
That is a great response. That is an absolutely great response. It's perfect. They would love that.
We all do.
Best thing I've ever seen on social media was some of the models that go on a lot of the runways when they would do photo shoots. There's a group of them, and what they do is they take the photo shoot picture, whatever shows up on the magazine, and then they post it with a "this is what I really look like" picture. Wow. And it's amazing because it shows exactly what Photoshop did. Yeah. You know, one of them, it gave her a Barbie waist, but her waist is up and down. I mean, she's very fit, but her waist does not have an hourglass figure. She is more of a rectangle. Right. And when she showed that, it was eye-opening. I know for a lot of people, she had a lot of comments on it. It was fabulous to see it was so popular, because I think that's one of the things stopping us emotionally is our perception of what health looks like.
Yes.
It looks so different on everybody.
So there's a very strong social correlation, and it is something that we have to, on the one hand, acknowledge and pay attention to. Especially, I don't have children, yeah, but people who have children, it's a lot of hard work, I think, because when they are getting all this flooding in, all this from the media, from social media, from school, from their peers, that it is actually difficult to say, yeah, but we take care of our body, we love our body, we celebrate the body the way it is, rather than want to have an unrealistic or realistic but really weird. Yeah, it's something that is more actually natural or healthy. But so there's always this competition, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Mine are in daycare, as you know, and when they have, I think there's 5 different songs that they sing, all about loving your body, being unique, and they're new. They're not songs that have been around for a long time, like a lot of the lullabies and, the ABC songs and the counting songs. And there's some controversy around some of them, but for the most part, it's love you, love everybody else. Don't try to change for anybody else, and don't ask anybody to change. You are you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's fabulous to see that there's some way of teaching from, there'll be 3 this month. So there's some way of teaching them at such a young age, because if we can get to them before they see all the models and the stigmas, then maybe there's a chance of having them look at those and not see, or not feel a craving and, feel as though there's something wrong with them when there's absolutely nothing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. But this is the one of the issue that that always comes out with my clients, that there's a level of self-loathing, self-critical. Yeah. So in our body image, it's just one thing that it comes out in the way we think about our intelligence, the way we think about what we have or don't have. So our sexuality,
Yes.
So it actually impacts everything, how your relationship with yourself. And by the way, the body is not a brain taxi. It's not a vehicle to carry the consciousness around, or your mind or whatever. It's you. That's, for instance, one of the core of embodiment, that this is you. This is you. This is an integral part of. So if somebody wakes up in the morning and says, "Oh, I'm ugly and I'm fat and look at my thighs," and they have a bad day, I wonder why. Yeah. Because it's insulting the self. Insulting who you are, right?
Right.
And you think.
Yeah, absolutely. So on that note, you had sent me a statement, and I made me chuckle, but I love it. You'd said emotional eating versus physical hunger. What's eating you up inside? I love the what's eating you up inside. Because you know where my brain goes. So would you talk a little bit about that? Because it's, to me, it's very fascinating, but my brain's already gone down that rabbit hole.
Wonderful. Yeah, so basically, whenever we eat when we're not actually hungry, which is to say, it comes on suddenly and it's kind of craving for something, then it's probably, in most cases, emotional. Yeah. So, and if you, instead of opening the fridge or whatever, going into the shop, if you stop for a moment and think about what was the thought, what was the sensation, what was the feeling, what was that led there, then you get a chance, on the one hand, to build awareness, what's actually happening, what's running the show here, instead of being just a victim for whatever is happening,
Right.
Because often, I don't have control. Yes, you do, but you want to take that. Control comes with responsibility, and slowing down, it comes with this sort of, that's what adulting is, right? It's not, and it's great, actually. That's what we all want, and once we do it well, it's, give me more. Give me more. It's actually quite nice. So instead of stuffing down something like a nice carrot made of chocolate, probably, and sugar coated and things like that, so instead of eating, see what is inside. What is that hunger? It could be something eating you up, stress. So it could be that you're unhappy at work, It could be as little as that. And then the question is, are you unhappy because your values don't align? Which is, you probably don't want to say that. You want different things. Or it might be that you can't say no, You can't, you don't have good boundaries. Therefore, you take on everything. You take on the emotions, you take on the work, you take on everything. Now, your responsibility then is to learn boundaries, because nobody's going to do it for you. Yeah. So we can't control the world, but we can control ourselves, and then we interact with the world differently.
Yeah.
And control doesn't mean that we put ourselves down and things. It just means, no, I'm able to say no to something and really feel it. That's it.
Yes.
But it's a skill. If somebody didn't learn it, I didn't learn it as a child. I had to learn it as an adult. Most of us, actually, a lot of people. And in fact, a lot of times when I work with somebody, it's about boundaries. And then they realize, oh, I didn't hate my work. I was just exhausted all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And support.
Yes. Yes. It's interesting looking back at, especially from before I lost weight. When I first lost weight in 2003, it's almost like that was a doorway to a different life. Like I look at my life in two stages: before that time and after that time. My perspective on life changed. My perspective on food. I had come out of an abusive relationship. Growing up that wasn't ideal either. You know, there was a lot of aggression in my upbringing. And it's interesting to hear you talk about that, because a lot of the times when I look back at the time prior to my losing weight, there was a lot of emotional eating there. And there are foods still today that I say I absolutely love that I can attribute to emotional connections during those times. You know, my bagels with all the cream cheese, which I can no longer eat. I don't think it's necessarily that I love those as much as I say I do. I think that is an emotional connection. The minute something upsets me, not angers me, but upsets me, that is the very first thing I crave.
Yeah.
That was the very first thing.
It's natural. We want to survive, therefore we self-medicate.
Yes.
There are many, many ways to self-medicate. It's not just alcohol and drugs. It can be food. It can be shopping. Yeah. It can be, I don't know, doing courses after course after course. It's anything that we do to avoid an emotion. Yeah. And one of the things that you were saying, yes, a lot of us come from either abusive household, or there was neglect. One of the things that we don't often talk about is that actually emotional childhood neglect can have the same negative impact or similar negative impact on our life and how we live as adults and what choices we make, even food choices or how we eat. You know, often is kind of because there's a sense of scarcity of safety, scarcity of emotion, good emotions.
Yeah.
And all this is part of this whole way of retraining how we relate with the emotions. And it's at the beginning, because if we don't do this, we don't heal these traumas, then what can happen is that it comes back, and we will again self-medicate. We will again eat those things because we need that. So it's a necessity to feel that we can go on with life.
Correct.
Ooh. And that's really often, this is where people say, why don't I have the willpower? Willpower takes a lot of cognitive effort, first and foremost. So it does take a lot of mental power, and it's not reliable. Yeah,
exactly.
So in short things, yes, we need it. We need it in our life every day, but we cannot rely on that as a strategy. You cannot rely on that as the way of living when it comes to routines that you do every day, such as eating. It's not
Yeah.
like, well, I'll eat when I feel like. No, eat every day.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's a very different thing to something that you only need to do twice a year.
right. Right. I'm so glad you brought up willpower. It's something that pops up in a lot of my discussions and I hear I just don't have the willpower to eat healthy all the time. And a lot of people realize that it's not about willpower.
Yeah.
It's about retraining your brain. You've taught your brain that this is normal, that this is what is available. And if you just teach your brain and show your brain and your conscious and subconscious that there is another way, everything starts to work in synchronicity again.
Yeah.
You're now in partnership with your body, your brain, your mind, body, and spirit. You're that triad again.
Absolutely.
Versus fighting with yourself, which is
Yeah.
all you're.
What you're doing when you're fighting with yourself, you are actually rejecting yourself. You're abandoning yourself. And often that is something that might have happened to you as a child. And then now you're replaying the same thing. It's different because it's different context. It might be with food rather than whatever, but it's essentially the same thing.
With that context. So you talk about, you had mentioned, what is it? Bringing pleasure back into your life. And by bringing pleasure back into your life, you can change your relationship with food. And it sounds like we're going down that pathway in our talks. So can you expand just a little bit more about that? Because I know hearing you talk since we met, that is definitely a topic that intrigues me when you talk.
So one of the problems that pops up a lot with my clients is that if they are not perfect, perfection doesn't exist, and in this case might be weight, and in other cases it might be their intelligence and confidence or whatever, then they feel guilty for bringing pleasure in, but sometimes even guilty for doing exercise. So they won't do the exercise even though they enjoy it or would be good for them because that's they don't have the time, they don't have so basically when there is this unconscious belief or sometimes conscious that we are not good enough, we are a bad person, we are unlovable. Yeah, all of a sudden, these are the beliefs that we want to avoid facing up to, because you have to face up to this belief before you can transform it. You have to be aware that it's there and accept that it's there before you transform it. Yeah.
Right.
So often that's what we are leaving behind when we're eating, and we think that gives a little bit of temporary pleasure or a little bit of temporary relief. Yeah, let's call it relief because that's what it is. Like when you feel miserable, a little bit of a high feels like, but in fact, it's just relief.
Yeah.
Joy, on the other hand, is when you don't feel guilty, you don't feel bad about it a few minutes later or next day or whenever. It's just being yourself. It's just this sort of feeling of, it's I can, and it's great. There's the feeling that I can make mistakes, and it's great.
Yes.
It's a feeling of ease. I think pleasure is a feeling of ease. Feeling of, when you're sitting on a beach and the sun is on your skin, that sort of feeling. And of course, then you can make it even bigger. Then you bring it into your sexual life. Then it adds a different dynamic to it. Yeah. Then you go into another. Like at work, it might be kind of the drive for achieving something. So pleasure in different aspects of your life will be somewhat shaped by that environment. But at the core is this real solid knowing that you are not, that you are enough, your personhood is enough. This the ease of, if I were to show it as a sound, it's like,
Yes. A
you know?
lot of people don't realize that that relief is just you being you.
Yeah.
They don't know what that feels like.
Yes. Or if they do, it's so small, it's like so sparse in their life. And by the way, we notice what we focus on. And one thing that I notice is that people who feel that they are intrinsically bad, that they are not good enough, they are unlovable, that something is wrong with them, they don't really notice when somebody compliments them. It's not just that they immediately say something negative about them. That's part of the image as well. It somehow doesn't register, as if they didn't hear it.
Right.
It's a little bit like that experiment with the gorilla in the middle. So it's kind of there are some people standing around and they are passing a ball, and you have to count how many times they pass the ball. So you count it, and then at the it's kind of, you feel so proud. Yes, I know exactly how many times it went wrong. And then they say, so did you see the gorilla in the middle? I said, what gorilla? Yeah. Watch it. And there's a gorilla coming in, well, somebody wearing the gorilla suit, coming in very, very slowly, stopping, sliding, and waving at you, and then walking out just as slowly, like a cat. That the ease of eye old. I said, it's impossible that I haven't seen it. Exactly that. Some people don't hear it, don't see it. It's there in their face all the time, but they just can't. They just filter it out.
Yeah. I was actually shown that video maybe about 1.5 years ago and was asked the same thing. And I was like, oh, I know this video. I've heard of this video. I didn't see the gorilla.
Exactly.
I did not see the gorilla. And it blew my mind when we got to the end. I was like, wait, where'd the gorilla go? And
exactly.
Hey, he's there. But your brain doesn't see it.
Exactly, yeah, because you're focusing. And this is one of the things that we are naturally wired to focus on the negative. Why? Because we need to survive. Yeah, so we need to learn. But on top of this, if somebody has the beliefs about themselves that having joy in life is unavailable to them, that people who experience joy in life and they feel good about their bodies or and how they eat and what they eat, they are different somehow, then you will inadvertently reproduce, will create your reality in such a way that it is in line with what you believe about yourself. And sometimes it's just that they don't hear it. It might actually be that their partner is complimenting them day after day. They just don't hear it. And they actually believe my partner is never complimenting me. And it's happening all the time. But just, the gorilla in the middle, they are actually focusing on something else, on their own modeling inside, and they won't hear it. They shut it out. They filter it out. And this is what happens once we reprogram the mind, once we see what are those things that are running the show, that are behind the way your relationship with food, your relationship with your body, then all of a sudden, as if the reality were different, as if the color, it's like, people, I don't actually know the name, but people who can't see color, and then all of a sudden they get these new glasses. There are some glasses that all of a sudden they can see color, and some of them are kind of in their 60s or something, and they start crying, oh my God, you live in a very different world. That's what happens when you bring pleasure back.
Yeah.
Just different reality.
It is. It is. And it's phenomenal to watch someone go through that transition, because it's not necessarily that it happens overnight, but their realization happens in this moment where all of a sudden, 2 minutes before, their reality was completely different.
Yeah.
And now, like you're saying, their eyes are open and there's no going back.
Yeah.
There is no going back. And that, I love seeing that happen with people. I know how it feels how it felt for me. So to see others experience it, and to have the blessing of being a part of that, or at least being a witness to that journey, it's probably the best thing about this field and what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Certainly my life also changed the way I relate to things, because I've
Absolutely.
changed the way I talk to myself
Yes,
and the
sir.
way I eat as well.
Yeah.
And as you said, yes, it takes practice. It also takes knowledge. If you only knew 2, 3 choices, then it's so helpful to work with somebody who can actually help you then to to better understand your body, better
Yeah.
understand your needs. So, for instance, this is one of the things that I hate about diets.
Yes.
Nobody knows your body better than how could anybody else know? So, kind of, we it's taking away your free will and feeling that you're capable. If somebody says you can only this, yeah, and this is what they do when they work with somebody. Let's rediscover your body. Let's see what it means, and let's become a gourmet. And you don't become a gourmet by somebody telling you what to do, because you will rebel. We all know that. That's why diet after diet, then after a while, the person rebels because the body says, and that's not it. That's not it. I know better.
Exactly. It's funny. The brain loves to trick us and lie to us, but the minute we try and reverse that process, it will start shaking its head and going, no, 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 no. This is not in connection and alignment. We need this. We're gonna nix this right now.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So now you are going to talk at our virtual retreat. You are our first speaker for the morning.
Wow.
And I know it's so exciting. I get to do a welcome and I get to introduce you right away. And I love it, because I think starting with your message associating with emotional well-being and health and how to use that to improve ourselves, I think it's a fabulous, it's a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
Those reminders. Can you give us a little bit of a summary? Your talk is called Break Free from Emotional Eating at the Subconscious Level. And I know we've talked a lot about that today just in our discussion, but can you give everybody a little summary of what they can expect to hear?
Yeah. Yes. So basically, I'll be talking to you about the core beliefs that we have when uh, we have tend to go towards emotional eating, and the core beliefs when we are free from it. So kind of a difference between the two. So and how to go from one reality, how to change that identity. Yeah, because let's put it simply, it is so wherever you live is your identity. Yeah, it becomes, even if, for instance, that's a abusive language, that is your identity right now, but it's not fixed. It's not fixed. So going from this is what's happening, this is how I see the world, this is how I see myself, this is my relationship with my body and with food, to going to, oh, and this is possible, and how we can make that journey into a healthier and a more embodied conscious living, where we have more choices and feel that we are in control of those choices.
Right.
And really demystifying this, that it's not actually that some people are different than you, is that some people have learned better programs or did the reprogramming themselves. Often it's not that somebody comes from a background where they had the best relationship with food and their emotions. It's that they also have to learn it. And now that's their reality, and that you can do it, and that you can do it at any age. You can start anywhere. It is absolutely possible.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, this is why I wanted you to be a part of it and wanted to have you appear on the podcast. A lot of the people listening, that's a challenge for them. And understanding a lot of the concepts we talked about today can seem like a foreign language. When in reality, if you take certain steps, it can be the easiest process in the world.
Yeah. And also, since you talk about language, I speak a few languages because I lived in a few countries. And learning a new language is the most fascinating thing on the one hand, because you can make the mistakes as a child. You can fall, and so if we change our attitude to the whole thing, to learning this new language, it can be so incredibly enriching. Because what I feel, whether you're learning a language or whether you're learning a new relationship with food and with yourself, like the emotional part, with your emotions, with your sensations, making sense of them and managing them, is that it can bring you curiosity and playfulness. Yeah. So it can come with. It's not always easy. I wouldn't say that it's always easy, but it doesn't have to be difficult either.
Right.
Something that can be like a dance.
Yes. Oh, that's a great way of putting it. That's a fabulous way of putting it. I tend to struggle with how to explain to people that when I say health is easy, it's the health part, the health strategies, the things that we do to have a healthy body and a healthy mind and a healthy life, those are easy. The challenging part is getting everything in line with each other, having all parts of you, the whole of you, all speak the same language.
Yeah.
So dancing, that's a great way of doing it, because when you're learning to dance, you're learning the steps. You're learning the things that get you through that dance. So you can just put it on repeat.
Exactly. And integrating every part of you. Oh, why do I put the hand out of the leg? Out of the...
Yes. Exactly. There's all these parts that make up us.
Yeah.
We're learning where everything needs to go and what everybody's role is in that dance.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fabulous. Well, thank you so much for joining us. As we end, can you please give everybody your socials? Where can they find you? How can they learn more about you?
Yeah, so people can find me on Instagram with my name. I don't know if it shows anywhere. Szeri. And they can also find me. So if it's underneath or somewhere, then because it's not the easiest name on earth.
I understand with my last name being Wilderson, I get it. People, you need it spelled out. I'll put it up so that people can see it and they can find.
Wonderful. So with this name, they can find me on Instagram or on Facebook or my website, and get in touch if I'm always happy to have a chat.
Awesome. And then everybody will be invited to the virtual retreat where you can hear Neomi speak a little bit more about our topic today. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so glad I met you, and I'm excited to keep learning more about you and stay connected. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will catch you guys next time. You will see the invite for the virtual retreat in the show notes. All the links for Neomi in the show notes. You know how it goes. I will chat with you guys later.